evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on CAN TV. This is the Equal Hope segment where we have a show every fourth Tuesday of the month. My name is Leilani Lacson, and I'm the Data and Communications Coordinator for Equal Hope. So for those who are not familiar with Equal Hope, we are a nonprofit organization whose mission is to help eliminate health disparities in Illinois. And we do this by offering free services such as free mammograms, free cervical cancer screenings, assistance with setting up vaccine appointments such as the HPV vaccine, COVID-19, flu vaccine, and we also provide other free services for women who are uninsured or underinsured. Check us out on equalhope.org or give us a call at 312-942-3368. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I also wanted to mention we have cancer support resources on equalhope.org for cancer patients, caregivers, and providers. So let me introduce this month's guest, Karen Hall. She is a breast cancer survivor and founder of Cancer Support Team. Thank you for joining me, Karen, on today's show.
Thank you.
So before we get into discussion, just wanted...
It's such a pleasure being here.
Oh, great. Thank you. We appreciate it. So before we get into discussion, let me just give some background information about breast cancer and survivorship, which is what we'll be talking about today. Each year, 264,000 women and 2,400 men are diagnosed with breast cancer. A breast cancer diagnosis can be an emotional journey full of complicated and overwhelming decisions. When found early, however, breast cancer can be treated successfully, with 90 to 97% of patients staying alive and well 10 to 15 years after early diagnosis and treatment. So that's good news. Transitioning to survivorship is a celebratory time, but survivorship is a complex and can bring forth new challenges and anxieties. These challenges may include monitoring disease reoccurrence, managing lingering side effects, PTSD, physical therapy, testing for secondary cancer, and more. However, many services and support groups are becoming available to individuals who are going through diagnosis and managing survivorship. Joining a support group and joining or using services can be a great help for cancer patients during and after cancer treatment. So let's get started. Karen, tell us about yourself and how you started working with cancer patients and survivors.
Wow. So I'm a two-time breast cancer survivor. I'm a mother, I'm a caregiver, I'm an advocate, cancer care ministry leader, motivational speaker, and of course I still volunteer. So ever since my initial diagnosis in 2006, people saw how I was kind of able to bounce back after that devastating news, and they started saying, I have this person, can you talk with them? I have the coworker, I have the sister, I have the mother, can you help them, through their journey? And so I started way back when.
Oh, wow. So you've been at this for a long time, Karen.
Yes.
Great. So tell us about your organization.
So Cancer Support Team was founded in 2019 as a 501c3 organization. Our mission is to empower, encourage, and inspire individuals impacted by cancer. And we really concentrate on the underserved communities in which I live, right? And so we're looking at south suburbs, focusing the communities in the southeast suburbs where a lot of the disparities exist, such as my area. I stay in Dalton, in Harvey and things like that. Cancer Support Team's goal is to support, be loving, compassionate, and have faith-filled encouragement to individuals diagnosed. We assist survivors as they manage the facts, which is a diagnosis, help them hold the vision of health, even though their body may not be reflecting great health, and know the truth of who they are. They're made in the image and likeness of God. Our team has the heart to serve, of love of people, and a willingness to give of ourselves. We are compassionate, respectful of your privacy.
That's really great. That's really great.
Thank you.
So tell us what it means to be a survivor. So there's a terminology, survivorship. What is that for people who don't know what that is?
Okay, well, survivorship basically starts when you are initially diagnosed,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes on through the end of life. There are various stages of survivorship. So
Mm-hmm.
initially, when a person is diagnosed, we may be right, and so we have to digest that, because when the word "you have been diagnosed with
Mm-hmm.
cancer" is stated to you, it's almost like you go into this zone about, now what do I do with my life? What do I do with my family? What's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my children and things like that?
Mm-hmm.
So it takes you a minute to really digest that information. And what I'd like to do as far as cancer support team, the uh, the individual have the option to have that emotional and spiritual support
Mm-hmm.
along with their medical team.
Mm-hmm.
And so when a person is diagnosed, I really would love it if they can give them information in there about a support group.
Yeah, so it's very important for people to know that there is help available, that there are a lot of organizations out there who are willing to listen, like even to just listen to you or
Yeah,
provide some assistance, whether it be, food assistance or transportation assistance or something like
right.
that, like, you know, which helps them focus on taking care of themselves and getting through treatment, going to appointments and stuff like that. So,
Yes, yes, yes. So some of the service that we provide, we host a support group meeting, two online virtually.
mm-hmm.
The first Wednesday of the month, we host a cancer survivor support group meeting
Mm-hmm.
at 6 o'clock on Wednesday on Zoom. And the third Wednesday of the month, we host a cancer caregiver support group meeting. I think it's essential
Mm-hmm.
that caregivers get the support that they need, because oftentimes they just suffer in silence. They
Mm-hmm.
don't feel they have a voice
Mm-hmm.
or should even say anything about the anxiety and turmoil that they're in fact are going through.
Mm-hmm.
A program that's called Crowning Star Wig Program, and that's offering free wigs and care bags to uh, cancer patient survivors and women living with olive. And so we have that available to them. We do one-on-one support. So if you're not comfortable in a group setting, we provide one-on-one support and help people walk journey. We also have a resource directory where, you know, I know most people think when you're diagnosed with cancer, you know, that is
Mm-hmm.
it. All you have to deal with cancer, but that is so not true. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we have so many other things that we deal with. It may be unemployment, you know, it
Mm-hmm.
may be family, you know, finances. We may have housing issues. So I have a resource bank to help individuals with other different types of support. And the last thing Cancer Support does is I have a program, a fundraiser that's called Purses for a Purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do is we have new and gently used purses, and we put a recommended donation amount on them. And so the proceeds from our Purses for a Purpose help fund our free programs that we provide to our communities.
Oh, that sounds really great. That's really
Yeah.
great. You can send me that information later and I can post it on our social media if you'd like. That'd be
Thank you. I
helpful for the
will.
cows. Okay,
Yes.
awesome. So, what would you say are some unique problems that marginalized communities like the black and brown communities face regarding support during and after their fight?
So one thing is, for African Americans, we have this stigma about support.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't need support. You know, what goes on in the house stays in the house,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we don't need the whole everybody to know about it. But my to that is family secrets kill families.
Mm-hmm.
So when you need support, I feel you should reach out for support.
Mm-hmm.
Our community also thinks it's a weakness if
Mm-hmm.
we actually ask for support. You know,
Yeah.
some of the things that we also face is uninsured. You spoke of that. Unemployment, resulting in the high risk factors and less access to quality care. So those are to the black and brown and low income communities. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have access. Maybe we need transportation to get to a really good facility for our care.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because we don't have insurance, we're not getting the appropriate testing to get a greater um, diagnosis, a treatment plan, for our diagnosis. So, a lot of factors affect that. And then at the bottom line, support ends up at the end of something that they would need,
Mm-hmm.
although it should be looked at as something that needs to happen at the beginning because we help you move through this journey, with other different types of resources that you need.
Mm-hmm. That's really great that you're guiding people towards these resources they may not know about or may be ashamed to seek help for. As
Yeah.
you mentioned, like mental health is um, a thing in the Black community where, it's a sign, if you seek help, sign of weakness, or like, why are you telling
Right.
people about our problems? You're fine. Don't take any
Hmm.
medicines, stuff like that. So that's
Yes.
that's really great. Your organization is offering that.
Hmm.
How do you feel being a Black woman has shaped you for your experience and the roles that you've taken on?
Well, basically, for African Americans, and especially Black women, we're going to wear many hats.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, anchor to a lot of our families. Maybe there's not a male figure in our families. And so we're the anchor, we're the father, we are the medical team,
Mm-hmm.
we're the sister, we're the brother,
Mm-hmm.
and we are the ones that does everything.
Mm-hmm.
We take care of the finances, we take care of the family. Oftentimes we don't take care of ourselves because we're too busy, taking care of everyone else. But because of that, we are instinctively molded to, and
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's why it was so much easier for me, is because I've been supporting all of my life,
Mm-hmm.
you know, even when I work, supporting, whatever role that you're in, you're doing that, you're providing that support. I'm sorry.
So, how would you say that COVID impacted your organization's ability to be there for patients and caregivers and provide resources? How has the last 2 years been for your organization? Because COVID has impacted everybody.
Yeah. So first, I like to say that the disparities was prior to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The disparities in our Black and brown and under and low income families. So the disparity was there. It just got worse
Mm-hmm.
when COVID hit. Uh, some people that had jobs, they lost their jobs, so therefore they lost the medical insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Hospitals, they were operating at a high capacity,
Mm-hmm.
so to just go get a mammogram or to check something out was not permitted
Mm-hmm.
during the time of COVID. And so people that had cases and prognosis that may have been good, before COVID hit, was not able to get the appropriate testing and
Mm-hmm.
in order for them, to survive. So therefore, everything got delayed, and as
Mm-hmm.
a result, we're seeing more severe cases here today. Um, so learning to survive during COVID took the priority.
Mm-hmm.
So the support really got pushed back. For cancer support team, it was really just an opportunity for us to provide the service in the way that we know how.
Mm-hmm.
I started my support group meeting January. Both support group meetings was snowed out.
Mm-hmm.
February, snowed out. Okay, so March of 2020, COVID hit, right?
Yeah.
And I said, wow, this is great. So, me transitioning and doing virtual support group really was just the start of me doing support groups,
Mm-hmm.
seeing that my other my other classes or my other meetings was canceled, because of that. So it's been a good opportunity for me to reach people beyond, my local community, and it's been really great.
Zoom is a great invention.
Yeah, it really is, and it's really lazy. So
Yeah. But Zoom has made things convenient for people, and especially,
yes.
cancer patients whose immune systems are weak from treatment. And, during this time, it's not safe for them to travel and be around other people and stuff like that. So Zoom has made it possible, and being able to receive the support that they were getting before the pandemic.
Yeah, I think even with me,
Mm-hmm.
it's been several years since I've been in actual treatment.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm still, kind of nervous,
Yeah.
about going different places.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing we I do want to bring up is that uh, I think people think we want to get in the cancer club. We
Mm-hmm.
don't want to get in the cancer club. We
Yeah.
grandfathered in when we hear that word. You have
Yeah.
cancer, but we just have to learn how to maneuver around that. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's not just cancer. As a result of my second diagnosis, I have COPD. I have,
Oh.
bone issues.
Mm-hmm.
I have dry eyes. So sinuses are messed up. I'm unable to smell. So this is an ongoing, side effect that I'm dealing with day to day. And so even we're kind of getting a little lax. I still am a little more protective about,
Mm-hmm.
being out just in general, kind of without my mask.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good thing that you pointed out. That's something I hadn't realized, is that, even though you're a two-time cancer survivor, you still have effects after cancer. And some
Yes,
people may not know that either. I didn't know that until,
yes,
you just
yes,
mentioned it. But
yes,
that's somewhat interesting. That's an
yes.
interesting fact.
Mm.
So let's go back to your breast cancer journey. So walk us through, your diagnosis into the transition period, like what you experienced, what were some of the highs and lows?
Ooh, highs and lows.
Mm-hmm.
So my first diagnosis, um, in 2006, I really was working, traveling, doing a lot of traveling, and so I just said, I need to take a break, and so my PCP put on FMLA,
Mm-hmm.
right, and I said, okay, well now I have the time to go and do my mammogram, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't do it in August, and now here is October, November. So I went to do my mammogram, and that's when it was discovered, just a general yearly mammogram,
Mm-hmm.
and it was discovered. And then, we had to go and do the biopsy and then all of the other tests. Now, mind you, I'm not paying any attention. I'm really worried about, other things that's going on in my life.
Mm-hmm.
This is just something I have to do. So it never dawned on me,
Mm-hmm.
right? When they said the word, I have cancer, it never dawned on me. No one in my family has cancer. So that was the last thing that I ever thought that I would hear. And when she said it, um, I guess I must have had this blank look on my
Yeah.
face. And she was like, it was a surgeon, and she was like, "Did you hear what I said?" And I said, "Yeah, I heard what you said." But everything after that was a wah, 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 wah. Because what is she talking about? She
Yeah.
can't be talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
She got the wrong room. So I was really, really devastated. I went home, and now I have to process this,
Mm-hmm.
like the the fear of dying takes over you, the anxiety. How do I tell my family? How are they going to react? And so you still get back into that black woman mode because you still want to take care of everybody else, even though it's you.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the whole ugly clap, ugly clap for a couple of days,
Yeah.
fella, the why me, Lord, and all of that, doubting my faith and things like that. So I finally reached out and I talked to a minister and she prayed with me. And I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's time for you to, put your panties on and you got to deal with it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did very well. I was stage zero. I had left breast mastectomy with reconstruction.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had corrective surgery because I contracted an infection in the breast cavity. So I had a couple of years after that, I had corrective surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And then my 5 year mark, hey, this is cool. I took the tamoxifen, everything's great.
Yeah.
A little 5K walk. Hey, I'm really ready to roll now because I'm back on doing caring,
Mm-hmm.
and what life has to offer. Uh, years after that, I felt a little bump, and it was just itching. And I was going to my PCP and happened to mention it to him. And, I was like, I don't know what this bump is. And he said, I don't know. He
Mm-hmm.
said, but I don't like it. So he sent me to the plastic surgeon, who in turn sent me over to the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
to get the
Yeah.
mammogram and ultrasound. Then it was my diagnosis the second time was an aggressive tumor on the breast chest wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on the same side I had my mastectomy. So now I really need somebody to talk to now because I don't get it. I've had a mastectomy and now I have to deal with this second time on the same side.
Mm-hmm.
That was more devastating. That was more challenging. That I lost my hair. I lost
Yeah.
my, I had to go through chemo radiation.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my hair. I had the neuropathy. I had the bone density issues, and so it was devastating. My whole life changed.
Yeah.
Everything that I identified as Karen, you know, was different. And so
Mm-hmm.
after I went into admission, it's like, man, what do I do with my life? Because who I thought I was, I'm no longer that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I knew I needed support. Okay. And I actually went to a support group meeting the first time
Mm-hmm.
around. I was like, I ain't like these people. I still got my hair, I got my eyebrows, I'm not like these people. But the second time I was those people,
Mm-hmm.
and so I went and I did join a support group at my hospital. And I met a group of ladies and we bonded. All of us was going through treatment at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a good feeling because not only were the medical people, kind of telling us things to do from a personal level, a patient, like I lost my private insurance, right? I lost
Wow.
my insurance. I'm in the middle of treatment. I lost my insurance.
Wow.
What do I do? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and another friend of mine that was in treatment, she was the one that told me. She was like, "Hey, all you have to do is ask for this person, you know, um, and you'll be taken care of." So speaking up is critical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get the support. Oftentimes we don't think we need the help.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, just like I would tell a senior, you earned the right to get the support.
Mm-hmm.
You earned that right.
Mm-hmm.
When they say you have cancer, you earned the right to get any type of resources and support you need in order to survive and thrive.
That's really powerful. You have the right because we all have the right to, seek help and get help. Even if it
Yes,
takes a long time, there is help
right,
out there. And there are people out
right.
there who are willing to help you.
Yes, 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 yes.
So, what advice do you have for women who are scared to get a mammogram or scared to tell their doctor they've found a lump, they felt a lump?
Wow. So first off, you got to be your own advocate,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, being scared not to do anything doesn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
Early detection is the best prevention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be prepared that your whole life is going to change. Just
Mm-hmm.
be prepared, right? So
Mm-hmm.
everything you thought was your norm is going to change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, you know, in your relationships, that's going to change too. So I said, be your own advocate,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to fight to live. It's going to be a fight. So put your big girl panties on. It's going to be a fight. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're not willing to fight, then you're going to allow it to for you, right? You survive for a reason. Find your passion and live it.
Mm-hmm.
And then last, for help. Don't forget to ask for help.
Yeah, asking for
You
help.
know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, don't forget to ask for help. Any kind of help. If you need financial help, don't sit there with your lights off
Yeah.
because you're too proud right? You too proud to, to tell your neighbor
Mhm.
uh, that your lights are off,
Yeah.
or you need food,
Mhm.
So yeah, just ask for help.
And
Mhm.
what advice do you have for people who are caregivers in regards to taking care of themselves?
So first off, if you don't take care of yourself,
Mhm.
what makes you think you can take care of someone else?
Mhm.
So you can't give what you don't have, right? So if
Mhm.
you're operating on empty, all you're giving is some emptiness.
Mhm.
So you have to take the time for yourself. The more you take care of yourself, the more you can give to the people that you're caregiving for.
Mhm.
So you know, self care critical. You go to your own doctor's appointment. You're so busy about the person that you're caring for. Make sure you do your due diligence with your own health. Make sure you eat properly and get proper rest, right?
Mhm.
And then just take some time to come apart. Even if you need somebody to maybe take your person to their treatment that
Mhm.
day, and you can just go to the movies or you can go get your nails done. But you have to come apart so that you can regroup.
Yeah, and oftentimes people forget that caregivers need to take care of themselves too, and people forget that caregiving
Yes.
is such not a burden, but it's such a huge role. Like I was a caregiver
Yeah.
when my dad had cancer, and
Yeah.
I know how it goes, So caregivers take care of yourself too, and
Right.
you need to recognize that your health is also as important. Also,
That's true. That's true. That's true.
so if people want to learn more about your organization, where can they go, or who can they call or contact?
So you can go. We have a website. You can
Mm-hmm.
look up us on our website at www.cancersupports.net.
Mm-hmm.
You can email us at contactuscst@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. So we're on all of the social
Mm-hmm.
media platforms. And you can give us a 708-580-2456. We have just incorporated a text to give. And
Mm-hmm.
we welcome any type of donation that you're able to give to us because we want to continue with our free programming. So text to give. Text give CST to the number 708-360-7535.
Okay.
T to 708-360.
Okay. I think you might have cut out, Karen. What was the last part you said?
Text give
Okay.
CST.
Okay, great. Well, Karen, thank you. And that's the end of the show. Thank you again for being on our show, and thank you everyone for joining.